Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. Now, starting off our stream today, we actually have some developing news out of Evansville, where there was a fire just a little bit earlier today. Now, emergency crews were called to this fire this afternoon. Now, this is in the 2800 block of Edgar Street. That's in the North Park area. Fire officials say it only took about 5 minutes to get the fire out, but a woman and her pets were home at the time. They say the woman was taken to the hospital. No word yet on the condition of her or her pets.
Now, we do have a crew there on scene who sent us back these photos. Of course, we're going to work together the latest information on that fire and the person's condition, and we'll keep you updated tonight on 14 News.
Now, on to our next story. This is probably the biggest thing for those of you who have been outside at any point today. Spring is officially here, but of course, with it comes high pollen levels. Ascension St. Vincent doctors are reminding allergy sufferers, especially those with asthma, to take precautions. Doctors say to keep an eye on the pollen levels and try to limit your time outside when it's high.
Yeah, also try to keep the air indoors as clean as possible. So just try to close your home and car windows during peak pollen times. Now, if you do want to go outside and enjoy the nice days, just shower and change your clothes afterwards when you get back inside. Make sure to remove any pollen that you may have collected on you. Lastly, try to stick to a regimen. Take allergy medications consistently. And if you do have asthma, just try to keep a rescue inhaler handy. You never know when things will get bad. Soon we'll start seeing the pollen like covering the cars and the sidewalks and stuff. I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I'm ready for the nice weather, so it's fine.
Right?
Double-edged
I'm willing
sword.
to tune that out for now. It's like I'm willing to forget about the stuff about spring that's annoying.
Yes.
I'm still focused on winter annoying.
Right.
So
Yeah.
one thing at a time.
Yep.
Well, for our next headline here, a new opportunity for Evansville students. EVSC officials say they're excited about the new cosmetology program at Southern Indiana Career and Technology Center. Now, officials say students will be able to explore careers in hair, skin, and nail care through hands-on training in the new program.
Yeah, our Emma Beck got an inside look at that construction today. Officials say they're currently looking for an experienced cosmetology instructor for the 2026-27 school year. And some good news, officials say they've seen a big interest in this already. That class, starting this fall, is already full. I know that's a very demanding career, and I know that a lot of people take part in it because there's a need for them. So this is going to be a great opportunity.
See, you have to be good at the job itself, but then you're also like a part-time therapist. You gotta
Exactly.
like do all the things.
Exactly.
So yeah, take that seriously. You need someone who's got experience there. Now, to round things out, really going to get down to business here. All you mac and cheese fans, happening tomorrow. The annual Mac and Cheese Festival is set to take over downtown Evansville. Over 30 food vendors are expected to line Main Street serving up creative and indulgent mac and cheese dishes.
Yeah, there will also be a petting zoo and bouncy houses for the kids out there. The fun will kick off at 1 in the afternoon and it wraps up at 7. I also heard there is a mac and cheese eating contest, which sign me up because that seems a lot easier than a hot dog eating contest. I mean, you could
fair.
just keep scooping that. I could eat mac and cheese all day long, especially if you put some bacon with
Oh,
it.
yeah, your
Little cracker
toppings on
crumble.
top.
Oh, yeah, get creative. Yeah.
You know, it may not be official, but I think I'm going to be doing a mac and cheese eating contest of my own.
Just at home.
just me. Just an army of one, and I'm going to do pretty well.
Good.
I'll tell you
I'm
that
excited
right now.
for you.
I'm going to place.
You're going to do great.
Well, that's going to round out the news side of things today. Of course, be sure to circle back for 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10. But we know why you're here. It's nice outside. It's spring. Let's hand it over to someone who knows a lot better than we do.
Oh, yeah, we do have some possible record warmth happening this weekend, so we'll turn things over to meteorologist Arden Gregory right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. This is a live look at the view from our 14 News Studio tower camera, and it is a beautiful day out there. We've already got some folks in the comments. Good afternoon, Jeanette, Amanda. Yes, it is a beautiful afternoon. And Laura Gray watching from Dawson Springs. Absolutely go Cats. You'll notice I wore my UK blue today for the occasion. They did beat Santa Clara earlier today for those of you who were not following that March Madness, and that game was madness. Let's talk about the weather, though. We have had quite the warm up here recently. Tuesday's high was only 32 degrees. We have come a long way since then, though, and we're talking about highs in the low to mid 80s this weekend. You will notice we cool back down, though, to start next week. So specifically looking at the weekend forecast, we are going to fall just a degree or two short of the record today. Tomorrow, the record is 83. I've gone with a forecast of 80. So again, not quite into record territory, but we're a lot closer to the records than we are to the average. Sunday, though, I think we do get into some record territory. The record for Sunday is 80, and I've gone with a forecast of 85. So Sunday will be the warmest day out of the weekend and likely record setting at that. You'll notice Sunday is highlighted in red. That is because Sunday night is a first alert weather day. It's a very isolated threat. We could maybe get a strong or severe storm, maybe capable of producing damaging wind or some hail. But overall, again, it's a very isolated threat. Let me walk you through it here. We do have mostly sunny skies over the tri-state right now. The sky may have a bit of a hazy look to it. There are some very thin clouds stretching into the tri-state from the northeast. There's also some wildfires down to our southwest in places like Arkansas. So some of that may be picked up into the upper parts of the atmosphere and blown our way. So just in general, the sky oftentimes has kind of a milky, hazy look to it right now, but lots of sunshine is getting through. We'll continue to see just these very thin clouds through the rest of this afternoon and evening. The clouds will thicken up some overnight tonight into Saturday morning. First half of the day, Saturday, will be partly cloudy, but notice by about lunchtime those clouds start to move out, and Saturday afternoon and evening looks like we'll have plenty of blue skies and sunshine out there. Sunday will be breezy, winds from the southwest pushing those temperatures into the mid 80s. A few passing clouds on Sunday, but mostly sunny. Sunday night then is when this cold front's going to pass through the tri-state, and you can see that shift in our wind direction there. We go from having this warm air flowing in from the southwest, then as this cold front passes through, that wind direction shifts. Now right along where that wind shift happens, that's that cold front, there is this isolated chance of rain, and you may be looking at this one lonely little shower and thinking, why on earth would that be a first alert weather day? Well, I want to widen out the view for you a little bit and just give some context here that there's still some uncertainty about this weekend. You'll notice there is a kind of a bulkier line of thunderstorms off to the northeast, stretching through Ohio and then down into southern Indiana, and then it just kind of tapers off as it gets to us. Some of the other models have that moisture reaching down as far as Paducah. So if you imagine if you shifted this whole thing southeast down to Paducah, we would get caught up more like in what you're seeing up closer to Cincinnati. So there's still some uncertainty about the exact location, how far that moisture is going to reach. It is very possible that many of us stay dry Sunday night. We may barely even get any rain. However, if things come together just slightly different, we could end up with isolated or even scattered thunderstorms, and with temperatures in the mid 80s on Sunday, there's going to be enough energy available that if those thunderstorms develop, they could potentially produce some gusty winds or maybe some hail. So the greater risk for severe weather is to our northeast, up around places like Cincinnati, where there is that better chance that they will actually get thunderstorms on Sunday night. Back here at home, we are in an isolated risk, most of us sitting at that level 1 risk. Again, even our chances of seeing rain at all are fairly isolated. Many of us may stay dry, but if we do get an isolated thunderstorm, that thunderstorm may have the potential to become strong or maybe even severe. So there is just this very low level risk that we could maybe see some damaging winds or some hail. I'm not concerned about flooding. I'm not concerned about tornadoes Sunday night, but an isolated strong storm with some gusty winds or some hail, certainly a possibility, not likely, but possible. And so we added that first alert just to make sure that you were aware of that. I don't want that to catch you off guard after we have such a beautiful weekend Sunday night, then it is possible that a few locations could get some thunderstorms, and we just don't want that to surprise anyone. All right, checking in on the comments here. Jeff Miller getting ready to start planting some veggies. Sounds good. Yes, and Jesse again commenting on that Kentucky game earlier today. Okay, let's talk about the temperatures right now because it feels awesome outside. We are currently sitting in the upper 70s in most locations, but Mount Vernon and Madisonville are already at 80. It's 78 in Evansville, Newburgh, Henderson, Owensboro. As we go through the rest of the day, we will probably tack on a couple more degrees. I do think most of us will top out somewhere in the low 80s this afternoon. We do still have mostly sunny skies and a warm wind flowing in from the southwest, so our temperatures are still going to trend upward probably for another couple of hours here. Then once the sun sets, those temperatures start to fall again. The wind really kind of dies down. So again, we don't have anything that's warming us up this afternoon. All of that will kind of go away tonight. But under partly cloudy skies, our temperatures will still be fairly mild, with lows only dipping into the low to mid 50s tonight. Then tomorrow, some clouds in the morning, mostly sunny in the afternoon. Not quite record setting, but still warm, with highs up around 80 on Saturday. Then Sunday, record setting warmth, temperatures climbing into the mid 80s, mostly sunny and breezy during the day. Then there's that isolated chance for a thunderstorm overnight Sunday night as a cold front passes through the tri-state. You can see the impact that has on our temperatures. Monday will then be almost 30 degrees cooler with highs only in the mid to upper 50s, but that's actually where our temperatures should be this time of year. Mid 80s is not normal for mid-March. Mid to upper 50s is. That little cool down though will just be that little. It won't last very long. We gradually start to warm back up again. Tuesday into Wednesday, we've got a warm front coming through. That does bring us some clouds, maybe an isolated shower late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Then a cold front. Another one passes through the tri-state Thursday, Friday of next week. That may bring us some breezy conditions and a few showers, but as of right now, we're not anticipating any severe weather with that. It will come with another little cool down for the end of next week, though. Looking at the calendar so far this March, man, this week has been a wild ride. We talked before about this huge climb from, we went from 81 last Tuesday to 32 this Tuesday, and then immediately back into the 70s and even 80s again by the end of the week. So there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's also been quite a bit of rain this month, especially that very, very first week. We had some rainy days, even some heavy rain and thunderstorms. So on the whole, we are running a surplus on precipitation for the month. We're still down on the year though, and that's because February was the 5th driest February on record. So that put us in quite the hole. We're still trying to dig our way out of there. As for our average temperature, 7.5 degrees warmer than you would typically expect through these first 3 weeks of March. So even though we have had days like Tuesday that were very cold, we've had more days where we've been in the 60s, 70s, and even 80s. So on the whole, March is running warmer than normal, and that continues today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Like I said, that cold front Sunday night kind of resets us back to normal. Monday and Tuesday will be very, very typical March weather with some clouds and temperatures in the mid to upper 50s to around 60. Warm front Tuesday into Wednesday pushes us back into the mid 60s Wednesday and then mid 70s on Thursday. Cold front then brings us a chance of rain Thursday night into Friday, and that also cools us back down into the 50s once more. But it seems like each of these cool downs doesn't last very long. When we look at the extended outlook then for next weekend and into the start of March, or into the start of April, I should say, the trend seems to be back toward above average temperatures with near average precipitation. It looks like they'll have some drier conditions to our southeast, wetter weather to our northwest, so we may be moving into a wetter weather pattern, say that 6 times fast, wetter weather pattern as we get toward the end of the month and into April, but what exactly that would look like, it's hard to say for sure this early. Yeah, Chris Smith comments that this is March Madness weather. That is for sure. This March has been madness when you're looking at the weather forecast. Who would have predicted 30s and 80s all in 1 week? But that's just March in the tri-state for you. Here's one last look at that 7-day forecast. I'm not seeing any questions in the comments. Again, that alert for Sunday is a very isolated chance. We could get some thunderstorms Sunday night, and if we do, they could become strong or maybe even severe with some gusty winds and hail. But the more widespread impact that what everyone is going to feel from that cold front is not the storms, it's that change in our temperatures as we go from very warm weather this weekend at highs in the low to mid 80s to mid to upper 50s then as we start next week. So back to those cooler spring temperatures. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to wrap this up. Meteorologist Michael Fecko will have an updated look at your forecast on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9, so I hope you'll join him for that then. Everybody enjoy this beautiful warm weather and have a great weekend.